Have you ever wondered what lurks in the deepest, darkest corners of our oceans? Down where the sun can't reach, a world of bizarre and fascinating creatures thrives. We're talking about aliens on our own planet, animals that defy imagination. Forget everything you think you know about life on Earth, because today, we read diving thousands of feet below the surface to uncover 10 of the strangest deep-sea inhabitants ever discovered. From living light shows to mouths bigger than their bodies, get ready to meet the real monsters of the deep. This is a journey into the abyss you won't want to miss. First up, let's talk about the Flapjack Octopus. If you've seen Finding Nemo, you might recognize this little guy. They look like a cross between a jellyfish and an octopus, with a cute, flattened body and big, puppy dog eyes. Unlike their 8-armed relatives, they don't crawl along the seafloor. Instead, they gracefully pulse their bodies and flap their ear-like fins to swim through the water, kind of like Dumbo the elephant flying. They live in the crushing pressures of the deep sea, sometimes as far down as 4,900 feet. And when they're scared, they can pull their legs and webbing over themselves, turning into a little ball. Adorable, right? Next, we have the Cutthroat Eel. Now, this creature is the ultimate opportunist of the deep. They're scavengers, which means they're not picky eaters. They'll devour just about anything that drifts down from the surface, from dead fish to whale carcasses. Their name comes from the gill slits that meet at their throat, making it look like they have a slit throat. These eels are incredibly important for the deep-sea ecosystem, acting as a cleanup crew. They have a fantastic sense of smell to locate food from far away in the pitch-black darkness, and their stretchy stomachs allow them to gorge themselves whenever they find a rare feast. Now imagine a fish that looks like a grumpy, warty potato with fins. That's the sea toad for you. These guys are a type of anglerfish, but they don't have the classic dangling lure you might picture. Instead, they use a modified fin on their head to wiggle and attract curious prey. Sea toads are ambush predators. They'll sit perfectly still on the ocean floor, blending in with the mud and rocks, just waiting for a small fish or crustacean to swim a little too close. Then, in a flash, they open their enormous mouths and swallow their meal whole. They're a perfect example of how life in the deep is all about conserving energy. Let's meet the Fangtooth. The name says it all. This fish has the largest teeth of any fish in the ocean relative to its body size. In fact, its teeth are so long that it can't even close its mouth completely. They have special sockets in their upper jaw just to house those lower fangs. It might look terrifying, but the fangtooth is actually quite small, usually only growing to about 6 inches long. They live in extreme depths, sometimes over 16,000 feet down, where food is scarce. So when they do find something, those dagger-like teeth make sure it doesn't get away. Despite their ferocious appearance, they're not a threat to us unless you're a tiny deep-sea shrimp. Of course, we have to talk about jellyfish, but not just any jellyfish. Deep-sea jellies are some of the most ethereal and beautiful creatures you'll ever see. They come in an incredible variety of shapes and sizes, from the helmet jelly that looks like a classic UFO to others that trail bioluminescent tentacles like sparkling ribbons. Many deep-sea jellies are masters of light. They can produce their own glow, a phenomenon called bioluminescence. They use it to attract prey, startle predators in a flash of light, or even communicate with each other in the endless darkness. They are truly living works of art, drifting silently through the abyss. And that brings us to bioluminescence itself. It's not a creature, but a crucial adaptation that defines life in the deep sea. An estimated 90% of animals living in the mid-water zone can produce their own light. It's the dominant language down there, Some animals have glowing photophores arranged in unique patterns on their bodies, like constellations. This helps them recognize their own species for mating. Others, like certain squid, can use their light for camouflage, matching the faint light filtering from above to become invisible to predators looking up from below. It's an incredible biological light show that turns the deep sea into a secret, glittering universe. Now for a creature straight out of a nightmare, the Gulper Eel. Also known as the pelican eel, this animal is basically a giant swimming mouth. Its jaw is loosely hinged and can open incredibly wide, allowing it to swallow prey much larger than itself. The mouth leads to a massive, balloon-like stomach that can stretch to accommodate a big meal. Finding food is rare in the deep, so being able to eat anything you come across, no matter the size, is a huge advantage. The Gulper eel also has a long, whip-like tail with a light-producing organ at the tip, which it may use as a lure to draw in unsuspecting victims. It's a truly bizarre and specialized predator. Let's talk about Siphonophores. You might think this is one animal, but you'd be wrong. A siphonophore is actually a colony of thousands of individual organisms, called zooids, all working together as one. Each zooid has a specific job. Some are for eating, some are for reproduction, and others are for propulsion, pulsing like tiny jet engines to move the colony through the water. Some siphonophores can grow to be incredibly long, with one specimen found to be over 150 feet long, making it one of the longest animals on the planet. They are delicate, gelatinous predators, trailing a curtain of stinging tentacles to catch their food. Next is the comb jelly. These are not true jellyfish, but they are just as mesmerizing. Their most distinctive feature is the combs, 8 rows of cilia, which are like tiny hairs that run along their bodies. When these cilia beat, they scatter light, creating a shimmering, rainbow-colored light show that pulses down the animal's body. It's not bioluminescence, it's light refraction, like a living prism. Comb jellies are voracious predators, using sticky cells to capture small prey. They are incredibly fragile, and many look like transparent, iridescent ghosts drifting through the water, lighting up the darkness with their rainbow displays. Finally, we have the Harp Sponge, or Harp Sponge. This isn't your average kitchen sponge. Discovered only in 2012, this deep-sea sponge is carnivorous. It has a unique, candelabra-like structure with vertical branches covered in tiny, hook-like spicules. It looks like a beautiful, intricate harp standing on the seafloor, but this design is a deadly trap. When small crustaceans drift by and get snagged on the hooks, the sponge slowly envelops them in a thin membrane and digests them. It's a sponge that hunts. This discovery completely changed our understanding of what a sponge could be, proving that even in the deepest parts of our world, there are still incredible, game-changing secrets waiting to be found. From the cute Flapjack Octopus to the carnivorous Harp Sponge, the deep ocean is a realm of endless wonder and mystery. These creatures have adapted in the most ingenious ways to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Every new dive brings new discoveries, reminding us how little we truly know about our own planet. The abyss is the last true frontier, filled with life forms that challenge our definitions of biology and existence. What other strange and wonderful creatures are waiting for us in the dark? We'll just have to keep exploring to find out. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures into the wild. See you next time.